If I were to tell you that Rubio would be in St. Kitts for CARICOM meeting tomorrow to tell the Caribbean leaders what they should and should not do, you will say to me that that does not come as any surprise to you. Well, US hypocrisy should be exposed because what Rubio is coming to do is not diplomacy. It's not partnership either. It's simple coercion disguised as cooperation. The Secretary of State, Margot Rubio, is flying into St. Kitts and Nevis this week, tomorrow, to meet with Caribbean leaders at the CARICOM summit, while the US is waging war abroad and flexing its military muscle in our hemisphere. Don't forget the recent kidnapping of President Maduro. And the message the US is selling is that we are here to help you. But what they really mean is we are here to control you. Rubio claims he's coming to promote security and stability for the Caribbean. But let me put some facts on the table. A US military operation just toppled Venezuela's president, kidnapped him in the dead of night. There was no war. The US is building forces in the Middle East on the brink of war with Iran. The United States talks about sovereignty while it dictates policy and military intervention around the hemispheres. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is not security, my friends. That's coercion with a smile. And now they're telling CARICOM, we want peace, while their actions fuel instability globally. So they're bringing back this Monroe Doctrine. They're repackaging this Monroe Doctrine. Rubio and Trump administration keep invoking this modern version of what they call the Monroe Doctrine. It's a doctrine born in the 19th century to justify US dominance in this region. But let's put some other facts on the table right now. Let's put some basic truths on the table. The Monroe Doctrine was about subjugation, not partnership. It equated Caribbean and Latin American sovereignty with US interests. And it also reframed every crisis from migration to drugs as a strategic issue, not a regional one. Just get that, eh? So Rubio comes with talk of shared prosperity, but what does that mean in reality? It means lowering CARICOM's agency on trade, forcing alignment on US geopolitical battles, and pushing the Caribbean leaders to tether their diplomacy on US global conflicts, putting leaders against each other. Kamala's there. Surprise, surprise. But that's not unity. It's a dependency by design that the US is creating for the region. Look at Venezuela. Look at the moral duplicity. Rubio arrived just weeks after the US military kidnapped Maduro from his bed at night. Let's be clear. Maduro has been accused by the US of serious crimes. Well, we haven't been hearing much about the case. But removing a foreign leader, kidnapping him with military force is still an invasion. And now the US expects CARICOM to embrace that as if it was some victory for regional peace. Trinidad is still having so much crime, drugs are still flowing. What's the point? Even some smaller Caribbean states are very uneasy. Look at what happened to St. Lucia the other day. Yet the United States of America is selling this issue about we fight drug trafficking and migration for our benefit. Meanwhile, the caravans of all these policy decisions are made in Washington, D.C. Not in the Caribbean with the leaders. But the Caribbean leaders are expected to what? Applaud when he speaks in St. Kitts tomorrow. This is the kind of double standard that betrays trust and undermines sovereignty. I'm going to do a video later on what CARICOM should be asking for in that meeting. Listen to me. Listen to me and listen to me very carefully. If the United States truly cared about the Caribbean and its stability, why is it exporting conflict here instead of supporting self-determination? If the Caribbean is a priority, why are its leaders only invited to hear US policy, not negotiate real influence over it? Simple. My friends, let me tell you something. This is not partnership going on here. This is politics and power. And we have no say in it. What CARICOM should demand from Rubio? I think CARICOM must demand, stand up and say, no to all this geopolitical wrangling and entanglement. Say yes to genuine dialogue, yes to regional agency, and no to being used in global wars, and yes to economic partnership, but not control. CARICOM nations should not echo US priorities. They should define their own. Because if CARICOM continually, like we're seeing the first United States of America, it is not a community of nations. It is an extension of US policy. I'm tired of saying that. Like, it seems that these leaders don't understand foreign policy 101. It's not a summit you're going to have in St. Kitts. It's a defining moment for you, for your dignity. So I believe it is time to ask, how CARICOM leaders going to be puppets? Or leaders capable of defending the Caribbean sovereignty, not selling it for short-term salutes, a visa to the United States of America? Let's tell you all something. Drop your comments and thoughts in the section below. Let me hear what you all have to say. Subscribe, because in the end, really and truly, truth matters, eh? A lot of it. I'll talk to you in the next video, guys.